Hello viewers, and welcome to Exploring Cinema with Brian Meadows. I, of course, am Brian. So, it's been a while since I've done a Star Wars review, and I'm finally getting back into it, and I'm very excited about that, because I want to get every single Star Wars film out, a review of them, before The Last Jedi comes out at the end of the year. So today's is on my favorite Star Wars film of all time, Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. Just as a sort of disclaimer, as with all of my reviews, I will make this as spoiler-free as possible, especially because there are quite a few people who still have not seen any Star Wars film, and probably don't even know, like, the important details, and everybody who's seen the movie knows what I'm talking about. Empire is set 3 years after the original 1977 film, and in it the Galactic Empire, still under the leadership of Darth Vader and the Emperor, are in pursuit of Luke Skywalker and the rest of the Rebel Alliance, while Vader chases a small band of Luke's friends, including Han Solo, Princess Leia, and a few others. As he chases them across the galaxy, Luke studies the Force under old Jedi Master Yoda. When Vader captures Luke's friends, Luke must decide whether to complete his training or just to confront Vader and save all of his friends. Everyone from the first film returns to reprise their roles, and each actor, Hamill, Ford, and Fisher, trump their previous performances and give outstanding performances, especially Hamill. Each character, including Vader, all begin to tread new emotional grounds they have personally never experienced before. Vader even becomes more malevolent, sorry, I'm really bad with that word, but he's more whatever, than in the previous movie, and we truly see what makes him so evil. If anybody fails around him, he will most certainly kill them. As I said, no spoilers, but there's a character in this film that is, simply put, a puppet. And he is, in my opinion, the best character in the entire movie, maybe even in the entire Star Wars universe. He is extremely funny when we meet him, but later he has such great depth and emotion, which is incredible that they could bring it out in a puppet. One of the reasons why Empire is so much better than Star Wars is because, like how Lucas continually expanded the world as the first film progressed, he did the exact same with Empire, but on a much grander scale. Not only did he continue to expand the whole Star Wars universe, he also did the same thing for the characters, and as I mentioned earlier, all the main characters begin to tread new emotional ground that they had not experienced before. This is considered the darkest of the Star Wars saga films, and with a title like Empire Strikes Back, it's for a good reason. We see our heroes lose a lot, and constantly. The dialogue in this film even got better, and I honestly think that's thanks to the man who helped write Empire, Lawerence Kasdan, also known for co-writing Raiders of the Lost Ark with Steven Spielberg. He's also responsible for some of the more famous lines in the film, and honestly, I can't think of another film in the Star Wars universe thus far that has more quotable lines. Or, let me say that, good quotable lines. I'm not talking about Attack of the Clones with talk of sand and shit. And speaking of dialogue, one thing that this film does not get credit for is how much funnier it is than the first film, especially when you consider the banter that happens between Leia and Han. Visual and practical effects went leaps and bounds further in this film. They went all out with this, and the most notable example is where some of our heroes are being chased through an asteroid field by a small part of the Imperial Navy. It was so beautifully created, and just like the original film, this film still holds up today with its visual and practical effects. Also, before I move on, I have to comment on something. In my review of Star Wars, I commented on how I hated the digitally remastered version because it added things that we didn't need. Well, I actually think that Empire is the only film in the trilogy that I feel the additions were needed. With a minor spoiler, the Emperor in the original version of the Empire was not the same actor who portrays the role later, and honestly, the makeup done for the original Emperor looked a little shitty. So, And I always felt that the original look was one of the worst aspects of the movie. But in the remaster, the Emperor is replaced by Ian McDiarmid, the actor who would go on to reprise the role in future films. And honestly, it looks great. This was also the first film where lightsaber battles became the most prevalent. The lightsaber battle in this film, in my opinion, is the greatest lightsaber duel in the Star Wars universe. It is so much greater than that short battle at the end of The Phantom Menace. It's not only impressive from a choreography standpoint, but it's also very long and drawn out. The set design is fantastic, and there's so much emotion going on between these two titans who are fighting, and this is what I feel a lightsaber battle should feel like. One thing that I have to comment on is just how beautiful this film looks. And I'm not talking about visual effects, I'm talking about the cinematography, the camera work. And it's all thanks to the director, Irvin Kerschner, who I never hear get any mention when it comes to this movie. He helped this movie, he helped to make this movie more memorable, and he was chosen because of his focus on character development. He has even said before, and I quote, I like to fill up the frame with characters' faces. There's nothing more interesting than the landscape of the human face. And I don't know about you guys, but that's beautiful. I want to take a moment to recall back to my review of A New Hope. I said that the score was the greatest of the Star Wars films. I will go ahead and call out my fuck up. This is the best score of Star Wars. This is. And yes, this is a vinyl. I don't know if I told you guys, but I own all 6 movies on vinyl. The first 6. I don't have Force Awakens yet, but this is my favorite score. Whoever you are and wherever you are in the circle of life, The Empire Strikes Back is going to mean something to you after you listen to the soundtrack, or score, whatever. There are moments you will take from this that will last you a lifetime. Here are some examples. We have the Imperial March, which is 3 minutes long slice of heaven. The amazing and evil-sounding march has been on heavy rotation in pop culture ever since its birth, and I don't see any reason why it shouldn't. This piece is a lot of people's introduction to what Star Wars is. Then there's Yoda's theme. It sounds romantic and wonderful. I sometimes mistake it for Leia's theme, and I know I shouldn't, but it still happens. Then we have the asteroid field piece. It is so amazing, and it instills fear into anyone listening because they know what could possibly happen, but you can't stop listening because it's just so epic. There are many other pieces in this score, and I don't feel that any are lesser. I was just giving a few examples. And there are many reasons to celebrate such a landmark of a score, and it doesn't even matter how much I talk about it. It's always going to be probably the best score ever made for a Star Wars film, and actually, I would even say it's my favorite score ever. To recap, The Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars film thus far, and one of the best films ever made, with amazing and compelling characters, a great story, wonderful visuals and sets, and the best, and I repeat, the best score in the saga, and I'm sticking to it this time, I swear to God, and the greatest reveal or plot twist in cinema history. This is a film that needs to be watched and watched and watched and just cherished by generations and generations, because Empire is truly one of the best examples of a perfect film. And I don't even need to say what rating this gets. Thank you guys so much for watching and listening to me ramble. Now, I must ask you, what did you guys think of Empire Strikes Back? Did you love it like me? Did you hate it for some reason? Were you indifferent? You haven't seen it yet? What were its most obvious strengths? What were its weaknesses, if there are any? I want to know your guys' thoughts. I welcome new perspectives. Be sure to subscribe if you have not already for more reviews and content. There is always more to come. And for other ways to help support the channel, please check out in the description down below. Thanks once again for watching, and farewell until the next video. Bye.